Stopping the surge. Government should unlock using good evidence on how to avert another COVID-19 wave. After a debilitating second wave of COVID-19, cash-strapped state governments have responded to falling cases with a swift unlock program in most districts. Some states have opted to open the floodgates, allowing dine-in restaurants, gymnasia, most shops, and religious centers in areas with low test positivity rates for the coronavirus. Lockdown-weary citizens, on their part, have greeted the reopening with road trips to tourist centers, even traveling across interstate borders. This is not surprising, considering that the country has gone through weeks of anguish when death and misery touched the lives of millions. The deja vu moment, worryingly similar to the misplaced optimism following the first wave, is a time for caution and to avoid the missteps that produced the deadly second wave. Already, Maharashtra has expressed worry that there is a noticeable rise in cases in just a week. The experience of other states will soon be known. There is a lot to be concerned about, since the highly transmissible Delta variant of the virus that overran cities and rural areas in April-May continues to threaten unvaccinated populations, senior citizens, and people with weak immunity in particular. The likely risk for children also causes apprehension. That it has morphed into a Delta Plus variant through a fresh mutation underscores the need for greater vigilance. With the unprecedented knowledge base created in just over a year on COVID-19, governments have the resources to plan finely tuned reopening strategies. The current consensus on preventing spread, as WHO points out, is to avoid the three C's: crowded places, close contact settings, and confined and enclosed spaces. The intersection of these is the most dangerous, and relaxations given by some states fall within this red zone. Dining restaurants, cultural programs, shops, and social events in enclosed spaces. A significant number of people are unwilling to wear masks and adhere to distancing, making it difficult to stop transmission, including on trains and buses. Neither have state governments moved to provide certified masks to the public liberally to be able to insist that they be worn. The insurance and banking sectors have made slow progress in enabling employees to work from home using real-time platforms that can reduce crowding in offices. It is clear that until vaccines are freely available and cover every individual, the economy can reopen with a modicum of safety only with strong leadership. A record vaccination rate on a given day may encourage more people to come forward to be immunized, but there are not enough doses available. And data show rural areas are doing badly compared to city, even for the first dose. The center is cautious this time, warning of a third wave, but the imperative is to open windows of activity gradually without dropping the ball on safety. Deserving winners. New Zealand did well to win the Test Championship in spite of time lost to rain. The sun, after playing hide and seek with the clouds, finally shone in all its glory at Southampton, and the inaugural ICC World Test Championship Summit class had its closure on the reserve sixth day. New Zealand emerged as deserving winners with skipper Kane Williamson leading from the front through knocks of 49 and an unbeaten 52. Both outings buttressed by patience and a steely resolve to counter a strong Indian bowling unit. The Black Caps won by 8 wickets and Virat Kohli's men had to draw solace from being second best. They had to accept that the opposition was stronger in English conditions akin to New Zealand backyards, unlike the tropical heat and abrasive pitches seen in India. Williamson also released his luck at the toss and immediately elected to field, with the damp weather and moist air further enhancing his pace attacks potency. Even while the seniors Tim Southee and Trent Boult did their nagging lines, tall Kyle Jamieson, the man of the final, extracted bounce and lateral movements and tackled the tentative Indian batsman nibbling outside of the off stump. In a test spiced by the elements, a low-scoring slugfest was in order, and once New Zealand snatched a 32-run first innings lead and reduced India's second dig to just 170. Barring a miracle, Kohli's men were down for the count, and the meager 139 run target hardly stretched the eventual champion. India's cricketing nostalgia is infused with the glories of Indo-Pak rivalry, the 1983 World Cup final against the mighty West Indies, or the battles against Australia right from the miracle of Eden Gardens in 2001. But it has to be admitted that matches involving in India and New Zealand have also acquired a mystique of their own. In recent ICC duels, New Zealand held the edge and it continued in Southampton. During the 2019 World Cup semi-final at Manchester, New Zealand prevailed and even that face-off spilled into the reserve day. The tailback then was one of swing and dark skies, and the same backdrop was present at Southampton. New Zealand has often ended up as the bridesmaid in premier tournaments, but a corner was turned over the last few days, and it augurs well for cricket's health while new champions set up. India, which lost one ICC Silverware the Champions Trophy in 2003, did well in the run-up to the latest final, and its rousing triumph in Australia earlier this year was the stuff of dreams. The squad has the right mix, and after a break, it will be time to get back into the bio bubble and then play the five-test series against host England from August 4. A battle of attrition awaits India while New Zealand flies back with the champions' halo.